In previous session, we have studied how to create web page for index.html and how to execute it. Now let's move to the part 3 of our first practical, creation of website using HTML5. In this session, we are going to study the code for form.html and then we will study how to execute code and view output in the browser. Now let's quickly go through the specifications for form.html. It must contain the feedback or enrollment form. Form must contain text element and email address. It must have a submit button and you have to use any 4 CSS properties. So students, in this session, we are going to make use of inline CSS. Okay. So what is inline CSS? Inline CSS is used to apply a style to a single HTML element. It uses the style attribute of an HTML element. So let's study the syntax for inline CSS. After angular bracket, you have to write the name of HTML tag to which you want to apply the style. After that, use style as an attribute. Style is equal to, inside double quote, you have to specify property and its value. So specify first property, put 1 colon, then write down value of that property, put semicolon, then use another property, put colon, and then write down the value of second property and so on. Students, remember here between property and value you are going to put colon, whereas between two different properties you are going to make use of semicolon. Okay. Now let's study the code for form.html. Doc type declaration defines the document type. Here the type of our document is HTML. HTML indicates the beginning of our web page. Then we have head section. Head is the container part for title. Then whatever we will write inside title tag will appear on the title bar of our browser window. After that we have a body tag. Whatever we will write inside body will appear on our web page. Here I have used only one attribute of body tag, that is BG color, which stands for background color. Okay, you can assign any BG color to your web page. Then I have used heading 1, that is H1 tag. Okay, so inside H1 I have written Utkarsh Vidyalaya Junior College. So this will be treated as my largest level heading. Okay, and along with H1 I have applied some CSS effect over here. Okay, I have used inline CSS over here, so I am using style as an attribute of this H1 tag. Okay, style is equal to, inside double quote I am going to specify the name of property and its value. So my first property is font family and its value is Broadway. Between property and value I have used colon. Okay, so font family will set font of this particular text to Broadway. Okay, after that I am using semicolon to separate first property from second property. My second property is text align. The value is center, so the text Utkarsh Vidyalaya Junior College will be displayed to the center of the web page. And last property is color. Color is blue, so the color of this text will be blue. After that I am using H2 tag. Okay, so H2 tag is used only for the appearance purpose, just to make my font look bigger. Okay, you can skip this tag if you don't want to use H2 tag. Okay, after that I have written contact us. Then I have used HR tag. HR stands for horizontal rule, so this tag will bring one horizontal rule on my web page. Okay, I have used two attributes of HR over here. Color is equal to yellow will set color of my HR to yellow, and size is 4. Size attribute will set the thickness of my line. So thickness of my HR will be 4 pixels. After that I have used form tag. Form tag is the container tag for all the form elements. Okay, and here I have used only one attribute of form tag, that is name. Name is equal to F1. So name of my form is F1. Now I am accepting first name from the user. So that's why I'm prompting user to enter first name. Okay, then I have used BR tag. BR is the line break. It will take you to the new line. Then to take input from the user, you need text box. Okay, so this is the code for text box. Input type equal to text will bring one text box on your browser window. Okay, these are the attribute. Size is equal to 30. Size attribute specifies the visible width in characters of the text box. So the visible size of this text box will be 30 characters long. Then after that I have used required attribute. Required attribute specifies that the text box must be filled before submitting the form. It means student cannot click on submit button without filling details in first name text box. After that, last attribute is autofocus. Autofocus specifies that the text box should be automatically get focused when the page is loaded. So whenever you will open this web page, form.html, your cursor will automatically get placed inside this first name text box. After that, I have used 2 times BR tag for line break. Then I am asking user to type their query. Okay, so I am writing here, type your query below. After that, BR for line break. Okay, here I am using text area tag. Text area tag defines a multi-line text input control. So what is the difference between text box and text area? Text box will allow user to enter single line input, whereas text area allow user to enter multi-line input. Here I have used 2 attributes, rows and calls. Row specifies the visible number of lines in a text area, whereas call specifies the visible width of the text area. Okay, after that immediately I am closing my text area tag. After that 2 times BR for line break. Then I am asking user to enter email address. Again line break. To accept input for email, I am going to use email field. So that's why I am writing this input type equal to email. Okay, it defines a field for an email address. The input value is automatically get validated to ensure that it is a properly formatted email address. Again I have used over here required attribute. Okay, required attribute specifies that this particular email field must be filled before submitting the form. Again 2 times BR tag. Now here, as per the specification, using text box and email field is compulsory. Using text area on this form is not compulsory. Okay, but as I said, if you want to make your form attractive, you can make use of additional form elements. Okay, but if you don't want to use this text area, you can skip it. But using text box to accept the name and using email field to accept the email is compulsory as per the question. After that, we want to include one button on the form. Okay, I am writing code for this submit button inside center tag so that the button will be aligned to the center side. Now this is the code for submit button. Input type equal to submit will add one submit button on my web page. Here the value of my button is send query. Okay, so this send query text will appear on the surface of my button. Otherwise the default text will be submit query. Okay, so whatever you want to display on button, you will assign that text to value attribute. After that, again I am using inline CSS over here. Okay, that's why I am using style as an attribute. So this particular style will be applicable to only my submit button. So style equal to, inside double quotes I am going to specify a property and its value. My first property is background hyphen color. It will set background color of my button to cadet blue. After that semicolon. Another property is color colon purple, which will set the color of this send query text to purple. After that height 50 pixel, width 200 pixel. So it will set the height and width of my submit button. After that font hyphen size 20 pixel. So the font size of this text send query will be 20 pixel. Student, here I have used inline CSS in h1 tag as well as I have used inline CSS for submit button. As per the question, we have to make use of any 4 CSS properties. So during exam, you can use any 4 CSS properties anywhere in this form, wherever you want. Okay. After that, h2 tag close, form tag close, body close, and HTML close. So this is the end of our second web page, form.html. Now we will study how to execute this code and view output in the browser. I have this code already written in my notepad. I'm going to save this code in my folder. Okay. In last session, we have created this folder syjcitpracs. Okay. Inside this folder, currently I am having one image and my first web page, that is index.html. In this same folder, I am going to save my second web page, form.html. Okay. So how to save? Click on file, click on save. See, already I am inside syjcitpracs folder. Okay. Before writing file name, you have to go through this address bar properly. So check the address. So I am inside my syjcitpracs folder. I will write down the name of this file as form.html. Okay. Then just click on save. See, form.html. My file is saved successfully. Now how to view the output? I will first open my first web page. Right click, open with Internet Explorer. This is my first web page, index.html. Here we have a link. Click here to fill the form. So whenever I will click on this link, I will jump to the second web page, which is form.html. Okay, this is the output for form. This is the heading where I have applied inline CSS also. Contact us one HR, then first name, text box to accept the first name. Type your query below. Then I have this text area which is having multiple lines. Then I am having an email field and then a button to submit the data. Here if you observe, cursor is already inside my text box. Okay, this is because I have used autofocus property over here. I am writing my first name. Okay, type your query below. See students, I can type multiple lines over here in this text area. Okay, then I am having email field. See, it is prompting me that this is a required field. Okay, because I have used required property over here. Same way I have used required property in first name also. So let's check what is the use of that. Okay, see, this is prompting me that this is a required field. So if the required field is empty and I am trying to submit the form, it will prompt me that this is a required field. So user cannot click on submit button without filling details in the compulsory field. Okay, so I have to write here email address. I am just writing my name and clicking on send query. See, again it is prompting me that you must enter a valid email address. Okay, see students, every email ID must contain @ symbol. Okay, so my @ symbol was missing, so that is the use of an email field. So email field will automatically perform the validations required to enter the email address. So now I am giving my proper email address and now clicking on send query. So it gets sent successfully. Okay, now let me show you one more thing. See, in h1 tag I have used font family. Okay, the name of my font was Broadway over there. Now how to set this font name? You have to click on format, go to font. So these are the different fonts available. You can select any font of your choice. say this. Okay, so the font which you have selected will be highlighted in this text box. Okay, you have to select this text. Suppose it gets deselected, again select it. Okay, then right click over here and click on copy. Okay, what to do? Right click over here, click on copy, then don't click on OK. Okay, if you click on OK button, what will happen? The text of your entire notepad will change, but we don't want that, right? So that's why click on cancel, and instead of Broadway, paste the font that you have copied just now. Okay, then save this file, open your output of form, just refresh it. See, the font is changed now. So this is how you can set the font to your text. Okay, now suppose if your linking is not working properly, then what you will do? In that case, you have to check for the name that you have assigned in href. Okay, here click here to fill the form. Whenever user will click on this particular text, it will take me to form.html. Okay, suppose you have made any mistake while writing the name of your second file. In that case, what will happen? In that case, if you click on this link, it will show me that cannot reach this page. Now, if such kind of error occurs, then what you will do? You have to check this name properly. Okay, so now I am rectifying my name, href equal to form.html. Again I am saving my file, refresh the output. Now click on the link, it will take me to the second web page. Okay, so if your linking is not working properly, in that case what you have to do? You have to check this name properly. Okay, if there is any mistake while writing this name, then it will not get connected with the second web page. So this was all about our first practical. Here we end up with first practical, creation of website using HTML5. Thank you, students.